Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is... My name is Dr. Desmoxy Hockenstein, and I am your host this beautiful evening. I welcome every one of you to the pilot episode of Nymn's Auditorium, where the true 141 IQ people meet and laugh about normal IQ plebeians. We don't need silly memes or people who post the same picture every day to entertain ourselves, because as we five heads know, the purest form of entertainment is enlightenment through education and culture. For this purpose, let me tell you a story about friendship, Christmas, and about war. Our story starts in Flanders, Belgium, between Dixmude and Meissen. But not nowadays, but in 1914. The First World War the world ever experienced just started, and Germany, the Ottoman Empire, and fake Germany stood against the Triple Entente, consisting of Great Britain, Russia, and France. During these times, there was an unspoken rule between soldiers, which most of them followed, until it got strictly forbidden in 1917. Live and let live. This code of honor basically translates to, have mercy with your enemy. Some examples of this were soldiers on both sides stopping to shoot during food supply, snipers deliberately missing shots,
Blizzard, nice silent buggy,
artillery always shooting at the same places so it was predictable for the enemy, and also letting the opposing force save their wounded or dead men. So all in all, even though it's war, these guys were pretty feel-so-okay men at heart. For our story, besides this code of honor, it's also important to know that the soldiers we are going to look at later all knew basic Christian values, such as Christian charity and the tradition of Christmas. Pope Benedict XV also requested all involved military powers for a ceasefire, but they said no and left. Lol W. You should keep that in mind for the test. I meant for later, of course. Let's focus back on Belgium, where our story is told. It's the night of the 24th of December. German and British troops were laying in their trenches. At this position of the Western Front, trenches were only about 50 meters apart, so it was an easy opportunity to communicate with enemy soldiers. With the code of honor and Christian values in mind and this distance of trenches, in this night it was possible for a German soldier to cross the no man's land and transport a chocolate cake to the English soldiers. It was also a German soldier who suggested in English that they should sing together at 7:30 a.m. and they would light up candles as a symbol of peace. When the Germans started to sing, the English soldiers stopped shooting and applauded afterwards. A German soldier wanted them to sing with him. To this proposal, an English soldier shouted back, "I would rather die than sing German songs." And the Germans answered, "We would kill you before you could." Both sides laughed about that and started singing together. It went a little something like this.
Jenkins, Oakley, no.
Sleep in
After that the Germans put up little Christmas trees and the English threw a football onto the no man's land, both of which were presents sent by their home. They started kicking and had fun together. Everyone laughed, thought and talked about their families with the other soldiers and had a good time, even if it just lasted for a day. On that day, not only in Belgium but on the whole Western Front, there were multiple documents, which lead today's historians into thinking that this wasn't the only case of a Christmas truce. There were most likely multiple cases of soldiers fraternizing and exchanging goods, such as cigarettes and chocolate. There were also reported cases of collective pig grillings. One group of soldiers also exchanged German beer for British Christmas pudding. As the 24th was slowly ending, everybody involved knew it was still war and they can't do this forever. As an example of how everything went from cheering together to war again, let's look at our group of soldiers who exchanged the beer for the pudding. They both went back to their trenches.
It was Christmas night on a battleground. Every weary man.
The British captain shot 2 times in the air and raised a flag on which Merry Christmas was written, while the German captain raised a flag which had "Thank you" written on it. He shot 3 times into the air and it was war once again. The following years of the war, authorities were more strict and forbidden. 1914 therefore marks the only year in which these acts of kindness and philanthropy ever happened in a world war. This is the end of our story. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it and learned that your worst enemy can sometimes become your biggest friend. Always remember that no matter how mean someone is to you, we are all products of our environment, and at the end of the day, behind every asshole you meet is a person that also just so struggles to get through life. Have fun with the rest of this 3-head show and we'll maybe see each other another time. Dr. Hockenstein out.